Coming up on UCF Nightly News, student business owners get ready for Small Business Saturday.
UCF introduces synchronous classes to the downtown and main campuses.
And we take a look back at this year's hurricane season. Nightly News starts now.
For example, if you're the cyber bully and you say you're not the real person.
Yeah, so it's kind of...
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Fritz Farrow.
And I'm Amber Manuel. Today is Friday, November 29th, 2019.
Knight's Pantry is gearing up for the holiday season by working to help students that can't always go home for the holidays. With Thanksgiving in the rearview mirror, the holiday season is beginning to ramp up. This is the busiest time of the semester for Knight's Pantry, largely due to students who can't go home for the holiday season. Knight's Pantry says it's important to help those students out by giving them take-home meal options. The organization is also on call throughout the remainder of the Thanksgiving break in case students need any supplies or services.
While the holidays are near and shopping season is in full effect, there are a few student-run businesses also gearing up for the season. Nightly News reporter Tiana Sconiers tells us about some student-run businesses.
While mainstream corporations are given a large platform to promote and sell retail items, Small Business Saturday was created by the credit card giant American Express in November 2010. This day encourages local businesses to take charge and promote their business while helping the economy. One UCF student looks forward to Small Business Saturday this year while working a full-time job and running her online business.
I think it's a really good way to increase awareness for other local businesses, and I think it's a way for local businesses to, be able to have special sales and promos for their customers.
Programs like the Blackstone Lunch Pad located here in the Student Union help guide one UCF alumna to start her own business.
Has given me a lot of practice and a lot of exposure to small businesses, and actually has given me the courage to pursue something of my own. So here we are today, and I don't think I would be where I am today if it wasn't for everything that I have learned through my UCF years.
Be sure to check out a small business near you.
Be sure to support local businesses tomorrow to help out a small business near you.
Although Thanksgiving is behind us, you may wonder how vegans prepared for the holiday. The vegan lifestyle consists of using a plant-based diet which includes nuts, fruits, and vegetables. UCF student Chris D'Andrea says he enjoys preparing his vegan Thanksgiving meal every year and always makes something different. D'Andrea also says even though his diet is different from his family's, they are still eager to try new things.
Although I am separated with what I eat, most times I find my family actually interested in what I'm eating. They actually want to try it. When they do try it, they actually really like it, which of course makes me feel really good.
D'Andrea says that living a vegan lifestyle can be easy as long as you have fun with it. His finished product was a plant-based chicken alternative, an apple crisper dessert, and non-dairy mac and cheese.
The semester is coming to an end, and so is the fall. With Thanksgiving behind us, UCF reflects on their efforts to bring awareness to the issue of hunger and health. Fresh U teamed up with Knight's Pantry and the Arboretum to bring Fresh Fest to the UCF. Outside the union, students learned about healthy food substitutes. Students even got a chance to spin a wheel with Knight's Pantry to win prizes. Some signed up to take home fresh produce grown here on campus. To top it all off, Fresh U prepared green smoothies for students to try. Fresh U will hold their next demonstration December 5th. The Hunger Banquet is designed to bring awareness to the millions of Americans who are suffering from the hunger crisis. UCF celebrated their 26th annual banquet with the theme Rebuilding. The banquet's theme highlighted what others can do to help the homeless and the hungry. Feeding America defines food insecurity as a household that has limited or uncertain access to enough food to support a healthy living environment. The USDA says about 37.2 million people live in food insecure households in 2018.
With fall semester ending, some students are talking about the improvements they would like to see at the downtown campus. Downtown staff say change is on the way. UCF Nightly News reporter Jordan Markoff shows us what students are saying.
Some students had to make the move to the downtown campus this year for classes. This campus opened at the start of the semester and is still being built. David Isasaga, the foreman for Brightview Landscape Development, tells us where they stand with construction.
As far as irrigation goes, we will be pretty much wrapped up. The irrigation part will be.
Jonathan Wagner is a local campus ministry director who works with students at the downtown campus. Wagner points out the benefits of studying downtown.
A lot of times students will say, I wish this was here, I wish that was here, and instead of viewing it that way, I've really been encouraging students to say, hey, what do you have to give to this campus?
Student Angelina Amaya comes to the downtown campus twice a week for classes. Amaya told me about some of the issues she's run into.
Definitely with the construction, I've been late already to my class due to that, not knowing it was going to be an issue, so having to plan ahead of time, leaving way earlier than normal.
Downtown staff say the construction is mostly completed but should be done this spring. In Orlando, Jordan Markoff, UCF Nightly News.
The downtown campus is moving into its final phase of construction. Union West, the downtown student housing building, has already opened up applications for next year.
Graduation for the fall 2019 semester is right around the corner. UCF Nightly News reporter Tiana Sconiers is in the studio to tell you everything you need to know for this semester's graduation.
Thanks, guys. Here's some information for our soon-to-be fall 2019 Alumni Nights. Be sure to pick up your cap and gown on December 3rd to December 7th at the Fairwinds Alumni Center on Memory Mall. Each student will receive 5 tickets. If you want extra tickets, go on your UCF account to enter into the ticket lottery. Graduation ceremonies will be held at Addition Financial Arena on December 13th and the 14th. There will be various keynote speakers at graduation as well. Some of those speakers are John Sprouse, Dan Hosenbeck, and UCF alumni Furrow B. Hosengney, and Jason I. Kinholz. Students can find out more detailed information about graduation at commencement.ucf.edu. If you plan to take graduation pictures, keep in mind that the ropes around the seal in the student union come down during finals week. Make sure to keep our iconic reflection pond clean. UCF recommends using biodegradable glitter instead of craft glitter for any pictures taken in the fountain. And to our alumni for the spring, make sure to fill out your intent to graduate before you can apply on myucf.edu. That's all I've got for everyone for the semester's graduation. Back to you, Amber and Fritz.
Thanks, Tiana. Graduates are not the only students planning on leaving campus in the coming weeks. UCF students are preparing to head home for the break, and the security of their belongings is a concern for UCF PD. UCF PD says some students' belongings are at risk as they leave them behind at the residential halls to go home for the holidays. UCF PD Corporal James Roop says students can keep their belongings safe by not leaving them behind.
Can't be secured through the bathroom, so people may be coming over that you don't even know. They can enter your bathroom through that way. So take anything valuable. If you have a big foot locker or something, grab one of those, put all your belongings in there and lock it away. That's probably the best thing that you could ever do.
UCFPD's annual safety guide states burglaries have been decreasing on main campus, residential halls, and nearby off-campus housing over the last 2 years. These decreases reflect a nationwide drop in burglaries.
Coming up, a new kind of class between UCF's main campus and downtown campus got its start this semester.
Stay tuned to hear more after the break.
offered at UCF between the downtown and Legacy campuses begin this semester. Students now have the ability to be in the same classroom setting on both campuses. Nightly News reporter Kyle Partain takes us there in depth about what this class is.
The UCF downtown campus started classes this semester, and a new style of class has been introduced to help students that can't easily make it downtown for their classes. This new style, called synchronous classes, was created to give students an opportunity to participate and be involved in class without having to be downtown through cameras and streaming technology. Dr. Adam Parrish says that the synchronous class is designed to help students that can't get downtown, especially student athletes.
Specifically, our student athletes have so many activities on the main campus that getting down here would be a challenge during the day. So initially, these classes were created to accommodate that.
Since this has been the first class of its kind between these two campuses, Dr. Parrish and the class have been working to perfect how the class functions. Now, being that this synchronous class is between two different campuses, the perspective is going to be very different, whether you're on the downtown campus or on the Legacy campus. The change in perspective is key, with students on the downtown campus saying that their experience has been very smooth in comparison to students on the Legacy campus. Human Communications major Chloe Barnes says that her experience with the class has been very smooth.
I've been lucky. I've been actually with the professor the whole time instead of having to watch it through the completely synchronous version of the class, and I know it's much more difficult for them.
Dr. Parrish says UCF plans to continue to conduct and improve synchronous classes in future semesters. In Orlando, Kyle Partain, UCF Nightly News.
For more on these synchronous classes, you can reach out to NSCM in person on the Legacy campus or online at communication.ucf.edu. Coming up after the break, hurricane season wraps up next week. We'll recap the impacts of this season.
Plus, we'll talk about this November's weather trends compared to previous years. Stay tuned.
To have finally cooled off, just enough to be comfortable, at least during the night anyways.
Yeah, it's been great outside the last few weeks. It finally doesn't feel like summer anymore. Nightly News reporter Brendan Schaefer is in the studio with more on the trends for this month's weather.
Thanks, guys. It has been an interesting month, to say the least. Like you said, it's been getting colder. The highs and the lows making their way down. You know, the 50s, some creeping into the 40s. I know I've been wearing a jacket. I don't know about you guys. That being said, there is some heat to talk about. As you see right there, we have the highest November average temperature since 1986. That was around 78 degrees. We are on pace for about 79. Funny enough, we also came off a record October heat there back in 1919. And if you do the math, I'm not great at math, but it checks out 100 years. 100 years ago, 80 degrees. We're currently sitting at an 81 average for October. It's been a hot month, but not all is lost. Last year's Black Friday was about 81, mostly sunny, and what we're seeing right now, it's going to be more of the same, around the 80s, partly cloudy, no real chance of rain. So the shoppers, I'd like to think, are going to be patient, cordial, you know, like regular Black Friday shoppers. I don't think so, but we'll see. Before we get into the hurricane recap, a little fun fact for you. This is the first year since 2016 that our football Knights have been able to play all their games in the month of September. The last 2 years, we lost games to North Carolina and Georgia Tech due to the hurricanes that rolled through during those months. Now for the hurricane recap, it really is winding down, but there is a lot to talk about during this hurricane season. The 2019 hurricane season was the 5th straight year in which we saw 5 category hurricanes, with Hurricane Dorian at the top of the class. Hurricane Dorian peaked at 185 miles an hour, damaging much of the Caribbean islands, but especially in the Bahamas. Groups like UCF Global and the UCF SGA held fundraisers and donation events to spread food, water, and other shelter items to survivors of the hurricanes. Florida itself remained mostly unharmed, was really only the victim of some harsh wind and some rain. And right now, there's only one storm being tracked by the National Hurricane Center. That would be Tropical Storm Sebastian. But it's only a few 100 miles off the coast of Florida, so right now, we don't really have much to worry about. And that's all the time I got for weather. So if you're out there, stay cool, stay warm. Who knows? It's Florida. The weather's a nightmare. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Brendan. Coming up, it's the war on I-4 and senior day for the football team. Hear what the seniors are saying.
Plus, spring sports are about to get underway. See what the season outlooks are for those teams. Stay tuned for all things sports after the break.
Welcome back, Knights fans. I'm Marcel Dewey, and here's your UCF Sports Update. UCF and USF will renew their rivalry tonight as UCF looks to win their third consecutive game in the series. Senior football players recently told the media what this rivalry means to them.
The war on I-4 is a game that Knights fans have circled on the calendars every season. The rivalry between USF and UCF has been a roller coaster of emotions these past 2 seasons. During the 2017 season, the game was decided by a touchdown on a kickoff return by Mike Hughes. The Knights won that game 49-42. Senior linebacker Nate Evans says the rivalry is very exciting, especially on the field.
It's a real strong tradition, they have going on here. I didn't know about it till I got here, but it's real exciting, especially on the field. A lot of trash talking going on, a lot of emotions, but that's what makes the game the game. That's what makes football. So
the Knights will be without Mackenzie Milton this go around after he suffered a horrific knee injury in last year's contest. Backup QB Darryl Mack Jr. led the team to a 38-10 win. Senior receiver and Tampa native Jacob Harris says it is fun to compete against the players on the USF sideline.
It's everything about football, having that rivalry and a good rivalry to have at least. And it's cool because being a Tampa guy from that area, I know some of the guys on the team, so it's fun to get out on that field and compete against them.
This also is the final game in the series for senior offensive lineman Jordan Johnson. Johnson says it should be fun to have the competitive juices flowing again for this heated rivalry.
It means a lot, playing against those guys and being so close to them, and it's a really heated rivalry, so it should be fun to get out there and have the juices flowing against them again. It'll be a lot of fun.
With a win tonight, the Knights get to keep the War on I-4 trophy in Orlando for one more year.
The latest installment of the War on I-4 is set to kick off tonight at 8 p.m. prime time at Spectrum Stadium. If you can't make it in person, it'll be also nationally televised on ESPN. The women's basketball season started with a dominant win against Pitt in the home opener. Senior KK Wright finished with 16 points along with 4 assists. After that win, they had back-to-back losses against non-conference opponents. They allowed a total of 144 points in those 2 games. The Lady Knights will play back-to-back home games before hitting the road for the Cavaliers Classic this Saturday in Charlottesville, Virginia. They will have another short turnaround in the Classic against UCLA and James Madison at Jones Arena. The unofficial baseball season began with 2 fall games against Stetson, along with Black and Gold World Series. The Stetson Hatters came to town with matchup against the Knights before switching to their home field. Following those games, the Knights scrimmaged each other in 3-game series. Team Gold won the first game of the series before Team Black started Game 2. The third game came down to a walk-off for Team Black. The baseball team will be back in action in the spring to officially start the 2020 season. Be on the lookout for the season opener in early February. The UCF softball team looks to build on their 2019 campaign. They go back to play in the spring. The Knights finished their fall preseason schedule with a record of 5-3. The team lost 3 seniors from last year's squad. However, star pitcher Aaliyah White returns for the Knights to continue leading the team on the pitching mound. UCF looks to build off the record of 34-21. This season, UCF looks to 5 seniors to lead their team in the hunt for the conference championship. The Knights will have plenty of chances to test themselves this season, including games against Clemson, Michigan, and Florida. The season officially begins on February 6th. The track and field team begins their indoor season January 11th for the Orange and Purple Elite in Clemson, South Carolina. Coach Dana Boone has several returning athletes. That should help the Knights push for a conference championship. The Knights will continue the indoor campaign in Lexington, Kentucky, before traveling to College Station, Texas for the Charlie Thomas Invitational. For the 5th consecutive season, they will return to Birmingham for the American Athletic Conference Indoor Championship in February. The team will close out the indoor season in March for indoor championships. The outdoor season is set to begin in late March for back-to-back home meets at UCF Track Complex. The rowing team began the 2019 season with the Princeton Chase in late February and October before heading to Virginia for the Rivanna Romp. The Knights host a scrimmage versus Tennessee in February on Lake Pickett before the spring campaign opens. After the scrimmage, the team will open the spring with the Metro Cup in March. They will close out March with a UVA invite. The Rowing Knights will be very busy in April with 2 invites and a regatta. The Knights will then look to defend their conference title before heading to the NCAA championships in Tennessee. UCF has currently won 5 straight American Athletic Conference championships. And don't forget to follow UCF Nightly News for updates on all UCF sports. Back to you, Amber and Fritz, at the desk.
Thanks, Armand. That's our time for right now. Thanks for joining us. Remember, you can always keep up with us during the week by following us on Instagram at Nightly News.
And if you have a story idea, be sure to send it our way. You can reach us at nightlynews@gmail.com. Thanks for watching and have a good day.